Caleb, I know we've spent most of this preseason, feels like, talking about the 14 new additions, but the guy wearing the captain's armband is still Carlos Seal. So I just want to ask you, how important Carlos remains to this group, both on the field and off the field as a leader?
Yeah, Carlos is massive for us. He's, our best player. He's, in my mind, still one of the best players in the league. Wouldn't trade him for anyone in the league. Obviously, some good players that play his same position. But what he does for our team on both sides of the ball, I think, is unique. He's very good in the final third, creating goals, but also his work rate's incredible, and the fact that he's, past his 30s, getting up there a little bit, you would never know. It's like he's drinking from the fountain of youth. Such a good pro, such a good person, very, very unique, very rare. And, I think you're going to see his best quality, too, because we've surrounded him with players that I think will help better highlight his abilities. And I know he's looks like a different man this year as well. He seems a lot happier because he's got guys around him that he trusts and likes, and football knows football. So he has some good players that I think have a pretty natural time connecting with him.
Going back to the new players, are there any specifics about any of the new players that really excite you in terms of their ability to influence success come Saturday?
I think everybody in their own way, was brought in here for a reason. Obviously some guys we know were going to be more developmental guys that eventually would succeed players that are here and get their opportunity in the future. That's really important, that you have your succession planning, your pipeline set up the right way. But obviously then there's other guys that we know will be immediate contributors and guys that will be a huge part of our success. Leo Capani, of course, we feel is going to be a key guy. We're giving him the opportunity to be the number 9 game in, game out, and he didn't get that chance in Miami. And we feel like with that opportunity, he's going to really flourish and blossom into one of the better strikers in the league. Jackson's continues to impress me just with his soccer IQ, his technical ability. He's a perfect player in my system in terms of positional play and his ability to control games and find rhythm. I think he over 90-plus minutes in the last preseason game against Hartford. I think he lost the ball 2 times the entire 90 minutes. That's what we want out of him. He's the connector. The 2 center backs, I think, will continue to get a better chemistry with each other as time goes on, but individually, these guys they're studs, they're beasts. When they're in duels, you see they're winning them and good on the ball. So, I could go on and on. I like this group a lot, and I think we, Eli Feingold, he's another young player, really exciting. Alan Oyerworth. I could go on and on. Even Wyatt Omsberg has been a really solid addition. I think he'll play minutes. He'll if he has to step in, we feel real comfortable with him. Alex Bono's finally healthy, so it's a great 2 for us right now, pushing Ali. But, we think we nailed the signings, but in the end, it's still a work in progress. I think that's important for people to know. It's going to still take time. We're not going to be the perfect team right now. Nobody is. We just have to be good enough, to beat Nashville, and then we'll continue to get better and better and better.
Looking ahead to Nashville, notably today at training, Peyton Miller, Will Sands, and Matt Polster were not there. Do you have a status update on how they are, if they're healthy, and how far along they are, if they're on their way coming back?
Yeah, we're still evaluating that every day. I'm not going to comment too much on injuries this year in training, but we'll make our decisions like always that we think are best to help us win the game against Nashville. We think Will be close to being available. Peyton's still, a week out or 2.
Okay. And then I have one more as well. BJ Callahan today confirmed that Gaston Brugman and Julian Gaines are out this weekend. with one of their main pivots out and one of their potential right backs out, will you make any tactical adjustments to exploit their missing pieces, trying to play in between their lines in their 4-2-2 formation?
I mean, we always do. We always do. We always make adjustments. We always know who's starting, who's not starting, who's injured. You know, we do a deep dive on every team we're playing against. Very thorough in our scouting analysis. And, you know, we want to focus on ourselves and our execution, but we always make tweaks that relate to the opponent. And, you know, with every opponent, there's little differences. You know, their numbers, their structures, where we can hurt them, you know, where we need to be aware, our matchups, things that we need to stop because we know they're going to try to hurt us. That's just normal. That's every single game. But we're well aware of their team, what they do. The only thing that's tricky, it's still, you know, a new coach. And when you're hitting that first game of preseason, you're relying on preseason games, which are, you know, hard to get, first of all. Second of all, you know, typically coaches are tinkering a lot. And so there's a little bit more mystery in the first couple games with a new coach and obviously early in the year.
We'll go to Hayden Bird on Zoom, followed by Rich Thompson. Hayden, you're unmuted now.
Hey, Caleb. Thanks for doing this. I guess just, you know, this press conference coming right before the season opener seems like kind of an appropriately momentous time to ask you this. Just on a personal level, I guess, how do you view kind of the track of your project here in New England? Obviously, last year did not go the way that you guys wanted it to, but as you look at, you know, especially with the busy offseason, how are you looking at it, where you are now and where you kind of hope to be this season?
I mean, our focus is to win the next game. Obviously, we know that long term, that if we win the games we should win over the course of the season, that leads to making the playoffs. And then obviously, if we make the playoffs, then that leads to our ability to, you know, make a run to win MLS Cup. So I don't know if that answers your question, but like we're focused on winning the next game, and that's the short term, getting off to a good start. You know, can we get our first road win, and then we're back at home for 2, and can we get early our first home win? And, you know, we need to win a lot more games this year than we did last year. And you know, for me, the goal is playoffs, and that's not the end goal, but that's, you know, that's an important goal for us this year, is to get in the playoffs, and that leads to us hopefully being a contender for MLS Cup.
Rich, you're unmuted now. Rich?
Thank you. Hi, Caleb. Just back to Carlos. What role did he play in integrating the new players into the nucleus of the team, you know, as team captain and as the facilitator of this team?
Yeah, he's been great in preseason. You know, he really likes the new additions. I think that's given him energy like me. You know, I see a new hunger in him. I see a new energy, a new happiness. And you know, I think he's going to be at his best because he doesn't have to overdo it. He can just be who he is. And I think when he's at his best, he's in that final third. He's a great passer, great final passer, and chance creator. So, you know, I think for me, if we're doing our job right to highlight everybody, then he'll be in more of a comfort zone and a position where he can do what he does best.
Sam Minton, we'll go to you next, followed by Seth. Sam?
Hello, Caleb. I hope you're doing well. Just kind of want to ask about Al-Hassan Yusuf. You know, just overall, what are kind of your expectations for him, and do you feel, you know, he's poised to really make an impact on your team this season?
Absolutely. He was brought here to be a key cog in our game model. You know, the 2 center mids, the 6'8", those are really key guys in the way that we want to play both sides of the ball. Being able to control the game with the ball and dictate the tempo, to also, you know, break lines and to play vertical, to push on and join the attack. And then on the defensive side, to be able to help us, you know, press the opponent, win duels, and launch counterattacks. So we feel like he's a very good profile. I think he had a great end of the year. I think it was 8 games he played. So it wasn't much. Wish we had him longer, but I think you'll see his impact this year is building off of last year, going to be a very good one.
Seth, you're unmuted now. Seth?
Hi, Coach. Thanks for taking the time. You mentioned that Will Sands might be available, but if he's not, it looked like Eli Feingold was an option at left back, almost scored a goal against Hartford. So just curious, what do you see with him possibly playing that position, and how did you find him when you're recruiting for that position?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about scenarios before I know scenarios, but Eli just in general, we feel is a really good young player for us. We brought him here to be the right back, but most outside backs have played at some point, in their careers or in their time as players, played both sides. So that's not a tough shift typically for that to happen. Obviously, it's not ideal in terms of the player being a right-footed, but you look in the case of like a Dwan Jones, he is actually better on the left, right-footed, which is a little strange, but it's not a problem to shift guys either side. It's not maybe as natural as you want, but as far as the defensive side especially, and the attacking movements, those are the same. It's just the little detail of the cross, figuring out now how to cross. But we feel like he's a young player. It's going to play a big role for us. He's athletic. He's a good defender, and he's a good player on the ball.
Hey, Carlos, there were obviously a lot of new faces for you and all your teammates to get to know this preseason, but you've had about 6 weeks together. So what do you feel like you've learned about this group of players on and off the field really over the course of the past 6 weeks together?
Yes, so like you say, many new faces on the team. It's never easy when that happens, but I think we had a very good experience in Sarasota in preseason, all together. I think we had a very, very good chemistry. Obviously, it's soon for the group. We still know each other, but we feel good together. We had, I think, good games in preseason. And now, start what we want, start to compete first in Nashville. I feel we are ready for that.
So as the team captain, how do you personally take on some responsibility, making sure the team is ready mentally and are focused going into Saturday?
Yeah, with many new players, I try to help everyone, not just me, but also the experienced guy, Andrew, Matt, Brandon. Try to help them in everything, and yeah, try to be a leader on the locker room. Also, with a difficult last year, it's also important to start with a good mentality, and we try to do it.
And this is going to be your 7th season. While you've been here, you've gotten married, you had a kid. I'd love to know just what this place means to you going into another season.
Yeah, no, Boston is my second home. My family and I, we are very happy here, and yes, we are happy to be back. They are back also after Sarasota, and yeah, also it's important to have a good season, because it's everything go together. When we are more happy, even outside the pitch is when everything go right on the pitch. So hopefully we can have a good season.
Looking ahead to Nashville, you guys are going against a team that finished in 13th last year, a team you beat twice last year. How do you and the rest of the team look to get ready for this game, look to exploit this Nashville team? You're going up against a defense of Zimmerman and Lovitz, who've been together for 4 years, as well as Palacios and Najar, who are newer to the group. How are you guys looking to exploit their newer players as well as their veteran players and get ready for this matchup?
I think it's going to be a difficult game. Like us, they had a difficult season, so game opener in their house, they will be for sure excited, and they will try to win the game. So will be difficult. Like you say, they have experienced guys. They play together many years, but we won't win again against them. And like you say, last year I think we had one of the best games. Last year away was in Nashville. Will be different because we are different. They are different, but we know what is win this stadium, and we try to do it again.
And then one more for me. Looking back at the Hartford game, both you and Jackson Newell were taking corner kicks during the game.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted to know whose decision was it for you guys both to take corners? Did Jackson come to you? Did you go to him? Was it the set piece coach? What kind of prompted you guys to now rotate who takes the set pieces?
Yeah, no, it's all is from Mark, the new guy. Is doing a great job. Just I think he's with us 3-4 weeks, and yeah, he has his own decision, and everyone know his role. Sometimes I take the corner, sometimes I need to be in other position like Jackson. So, but I think everyone is confident. Obviously, we had a difficult season last year also in set pieces because we didn't score. So I think in the right now in football is very important, the set pieces, and hopefully we can have also a big year there and score some goals.
We have one question on Zoom. Two, sorry. Hayden Bird, we'll start with you, followed by Sam. Hayden?
Hey Carlos, thanks for taking the time. I wanted to ask about Campagna and Ganogo, two of the new players. Seems like obviously they're talented on set pieces, as you were just talking about, but also they like the ball played to feet, and we saw a couple sequences of that in the Hartford preseason game. I guess just what have you seen from them in terms of things that you like to do in terms of short passes and combination passing and things like that?
Yeah, I think they are very good players. Obviously, they are different. Leo is more a 9, but he can do many things. He can go space, hold the ball, score in the air, both legs. He's very complete striker, and for sure he showed in the past what he can do here, and for sure he's going to help us a lot. And Ghana is different. He can play in many positions. He's a very good player with the ball. He can go space. He also is good on the box, So with them and other players in the attack, I think we have a complete attack and different role players. So hopefully we can score many goals.
Sam, you're unmuted now. Sam?
Hello, Carlos. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to ask about, your teammate Hassan Youssef. It seems like he's been able to, or he has the potential to play a key role for this team. Just overall, just how important do you feel he is to the team, and could he possibly have a real impact on the team this season?
Yeah, I think Yusuf last year when he arrived, he performed very good, even when the team was bad. But he did good games, and yeah, I think in preseason he showed good also. He played in different positions. First games he played more maybe attacking, and he scored some goals. And the last 2 games, I think he played more in the midfielder, as I think is his normal position. But yeah, for sure he's going to help the team. Like I said, he had good 6 months with us, even when the team don't help him a lot. So yeah, it's going to be important for us. I think it's important to have a very good competition in every position. That means that everyone is focused, and everyone know that the other guy can play in his spot. So unfortunately, midfielder will be one of the players that we will have good players there and many options.
So when you think back to sort of where you were when you came back mid-season last year to where you are now, having been back on the different do you feel now as compared to when you came back from a year-long injury?
Yeah, feel better, and I think over whatever it's been 6-8 months it's been since coming back from that, felt better, felt stronger, felt more like myself, so that's good. But yeah, continuing to learn, develop, and get more time with the coaching staff to understand what their thoughts on the game are and everything like that.
So we've heard Caleb comment a lot of times about how great the locker room is this season. What do you feel about the locker room this year, and how does it compare to you, or for you, to past seasons?
Yeah, I think every year has its different, ups and downs, and different guys and different personalities and stuff like that. It's been, a big turnover since last year, and I think it's good. I think it's good so far, and once the more and more time we spend together and the more relationships are built in there, we continue to grow and continue to understand each other on and off the field.
Now, Brandon, you're entering your 8th season. Kind of just asking as like a broad topic, what do you think would be different on how you'd prepare for a match against a former MLS MVP? You're going up against Hani Mukhtar. How would you say year 1 Brandon would be different from yet now year 8 Brandon in preparing for a match like this?
Yeah, it's definitely changed. But I think me just understanding the league more and more, and understanding tendencies. Like, I've played against Mukhtar, a few times now. And compared to not knowing, too much about the guys or the league itself, and understanding what goes into, the intensity of a first game of the season type of environment, going into Nashville, where they're gonna have their stadium rocking, I assume, and it's gonna be a great environment, but it's gonna be tough going on the road for those, and not understanding, I think, is the biggest thing, and now understanding more and more of how that game looks and maybe plays out in the first for a few minutes or something like that.
Of course, and then going on that, you're going up against a team with a front four that combined for about 44 goals in all competitions for MLS last season. How has the defense looked to prepare for that game? Obviously, with the new additions, how are you guys looking to not only build off the chemistry you had for preseason, but also be prepared against a team that was lethal in the attack last year?
Yeah, I think it's just understanding, attackers and understanding who they are, weaknesses, strengths, stuff like that. But then doing what we do. I think we're a very good team. I think we're a good defensive team. So we're looking to show that from game 1.
Sam Minton, you're unmuted now. Sam?
Hello, Brandon. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to ask, obviously, the Reds brought in Eli Feingold. So just overall, what's it kind of been like competing against him in training, and, especially playing the same position? What kind of stands out about how he plays the game?
I think he's a good player. He's a young guy and coming in to compete, and I think that's important. We'll continue to see how things shake out, I guess, and continue to grow and develop that relationship.
One more question from Hayden Bird. Hayden, you're unmuted now.
Hey, Brandon. Good luck this year. I know there's only so much we can take from watching like a preseason game in terms of how much things are tactically planned and how much things just kind of happen on the field. But it seemed like maybe you were in a more of a deeper line role from what you sort of historically we've known for you to get forward all the time. It seemed like maybe this year they want you to sit a little bit deeper as opposed to the left side. I don't know if that was just a factor of the ball was on the left side more or whatnot, but is that a specific tactical choice? Have they talked to you? Is there kind of an update to that part of the strategy this year?
Yeah, I don't want to give too many secrets out, but I think we have a couple different different things that we can do in our tactical build-up, whether we're on the ball, we're off the ball. I can find myself, overlapping and or staying back and building within the back line. So I think there's a couple different ideas we have for that, and I'm sure you guys will see throughout the season how that goes.
Thank you, Brandon.
Cool. Thanks, guys.